All right, we are running. Let's make sure that dolphin. No, it is not. Oh, there it goes. Very good. Two viewers, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining me. Nice to have a cult following of my favorite two people. What's going on, old school? Good to have you back, man. Alrighty. So I figured today we're gonna do a little bit of very hard leveling. You can see here I have 3 characters. I have my 66, my 6, which I leveled on the first stream, and then a level 30 I was just messing around with on a stream yesterday. I made that character in that stream not as part of my actual stream schedule. That was just, I was testing out a character. I wanted to try out some of the new leveling weapons I've added because I hadn't really tried them on Hunter too much yet. And they're not OP, which is nice. They're cool and interesting, but they're not OP unless you get hit, which I had a zeroed one, no percents on it, so wasn't overpowered, felt pretty good. But yeah, we're gonna dive into my Raymar here, and then I figure if we do enough content today for just kind of showcasing how to get grinders, how to get early mined materials to help you build out a force, just from normal mode farming, that's gonna help show people how easy it would be, right? Put in maybe 5 hours into a character, and then you just have enough content to build a force right out the gate after 5 hours. So we're gonna dive into my Raymar here real quick. So if you guys have any questions as we go through this, don't be afraid to ask. I'm gonna start in episode 2 to show you a little bit of mined material farming, as well as a few other materials, mostly mined, but there will be some luck, some power, the mix of evade and defense, and also this quest. Nope, that one's not good for grinders. I'll show you the grinders after. We'll do the materials run first. So we're going to episode 2 normal. My last post on Reddit got deleted because I'm posting too often, so I hope people remember my stream's happening tonight. And even if it's just you and me, man, just hanging out, that works for me. I don't need a lot of people, I'm just happy to have one. Will your included docs guides show where it's good to farm for certain things like mind mats? Yes, it will. So I don't have that tab yet, but I have all the notes on my phone. Because these are the questions I asked while I was playing my own game, right? What is best for farming power mats or mind mats? So I will have the entire quest list as a documentation page. And then I will also have a starter guide or best practice guide, hunting guide, things like that. I'll have sort of the focus areas. You have the rare drop charts, but I will specifically point out quests that I think are useful for material farming, as well as grinders. Grinders is a big one. I spent probably an hour and a half today just working on the grinds you can see on this screen right now. Burning Visit's not done. It goes up to 180. Custom Ray is done, Twin Chakram is done, and Flight Fan I just finished today. Grinders don't take a very long time, and it is just normal difficulty. Audio's a little low. Oh, Gary, 29, man. I didn't know that was you. That's awesome. Let me figure out my volume here real quick. Give me 1 second. I think it's just that PSO. I think PSO is pretty loud. I could also benefit from bringing my mic closer to me. Okay. All right. So if I just kick my gain up a little bit on the microphone here. Hello. How's that? Oh my god, I was turning up the volume for myself. It's a learning process. How's that? Let me know if the audio is any better now. I can hear myself really well, so hopefully you can too. Awesome. Thanks, man. Gary, I'm happy to have you here, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining even though you've never played this game before, man. Like, just fills my heart. That's a good friend. Gary's a good guy. Are you playing on console? I am playing on Dolphin. Also, welcome to the chat, Ghost Rolled. Thanks for being here. I am playing on Dolphin. I plan to play on a modded Wii using Nintendo at some point. But right now, just for streaming sake and for testing all my mods and edits, it's much easier to just play on Dolphin. So I'm just playing on Dolphin. But this will just be a once it's modded and released, it'll work just like a normal ISO file. So you can play it any way you would normally play an ISO file. Okay, so we are going to dive into, I think I already have all my gear on me. Visit custom rate twin chocolate flight fan. What am I missing? MKB, but I don't need MKB. I haven't played the game, but I find your thought processes and creativity inspiring, and I wanted to support that. Oh, thanks, man. Oh, that means a lot. I really appreciate that. I'm an introverted extrovert, and it's I don't even know if that's a thing, but I feel like I'm so extroverted, and then after being extroverted for a long time, I feel like, oh my god, I'm burnt out. But PSO, oh my god, I could gush about this game forever. That's why I'm so glad I found a way to make the mods, because like the 11-year-old in me that played this, I played this game from a bargain bin for the Dreamcast years ago, when I was like 10 years old, at a Toys R Us, right? Toys R Us bargain bin. I found this game, version 2 for the Dreamcast, and I fell in love with it. I didn't know anything about it. I just picked it up and was like, this looks cool. So now here we are, all these years later, man. Still doing the same old song and dance, but it's a really good song and dance, so that's okay. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's like you have so much energy because you're like passionate and excited about stuff, but then when you're done, you're like, oh my god, I need a break. I need to be alone for a bit. But PSO, man, I feel bad for like my relatives. Like, they're like, oh, what have you been up to? I'm like, oh, I'm making a Romhack of a game. And they're like, what's that? And I'm like, nope, don't open this door. You don't want to open this bag. All right, so I'm going to show you guys Burning Visit. Burning Visit is Raymar's ultimate weapon. It has the same targeting radius. Got a power material first enemy. That's not even the enemy that drops it. That just happened to drop. So Flame Visit turning into Burning Visit is his ultimate weapon. It has the same hit radius as a Yasminkov 7000, which if you're familiar with that rifle, it shoots at odd angles, right? You don't just have to be facing the enemy to hit them with the shot. Burning Visit's shot is very slow, but it pierces and is now combo unlocked. I watched my buds play this on DC back when it came out. It wasn't until the GameCube release I got to play it myself. Yeah, so I didn't know if I was going to tell a story. It's not even like much of a story, but it is my story of PSO, right? So I bought a Dreamcast off my friend for $10 in quarters when I was a kid. And it was like lunch money quarters. And he was like, yeah, I don't care. I don't play it. Nothing good on it that I want to play. I'm like, all right, that's fine. These Gibbons drop mine materials 1 in like 4. So it's going to be a very good quest for mine materials. We're doing Phantasmal World number 2. So anyway, I bought the Dreamcast off my friend for $10 in quarters. And then my dad took me to Toys R Us to go find a game, because I was like, well, I don't have any games. My friend gave me Jet Grind Radio with it, which was awesome, but I wanted more games. So I found this game in a bargain bin for like, I don't know, $10, and I brought it home, and I the song "Image of a Hero" played, and I thought it was so cool, and I made I think my first character was a Humar. And I named him Hero because I was like, well, I don't know what to name this guy, so I just named him Hero. And he was short, and he looked like me, little 10-year-old, and I was really excited about it. And I played, and I got to Day Relay, and I couldn't beat him. And I'm like, what is the gimmick? Am I supposed to be hitting his head? Am I supposed to hit him somewhere on his body? I don't understand how this boss works. I didn't understand it was, break the shell and then it's just continual bullet sponge, right? I was 10. I had no idea. So I sat on the Dreamcast for a few years, didn't really play it much. And eventually, when I was in probably a freshman or sophomore in high school, I was taking my Dreamcast on my bike over to my local GameStop to trade it in for store credit. And the girl at the counter there was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry. This is kind of an old system. We don't take these anymore. Only take like more modern stuff." I'm like, all right. Well, that kind of sucks, but I understand. And she's like, "Man, but I would love to have, I'd love to have a Dreamcast. I've always wanted one." And I was like, "Do you want it?" And she goes, "For free?" I'm like, "Yeah, for free." She's like, "Why would you just give it away for free?" I was like, "Well, I don't have a computer at home, so I can't do like eBay. I can't sell online, right? And since I can't sell online, I'm probably not going to sell in person to anyone because I'm like 14 at the time, and I'm not gonna do it, right? It's not ever gonna come to fruition, and I would rather someone else just have the happiness. If someone else really wants it, I was like, fine, that's fine, I don't care. So I gave it to her, and she's like, all right, cool. Let me tell my boss, and I'll go run this out to my car. Thank you so much. And then that was it. That was the end of the transaction, right? Flash forward to being 19, and I'm in college, and a buddy of mine invites me over to his friend's house. He said, yeah, it's a guy and a girl, their boyfriend, girlfriend, and they like playing that really crappy game you used to play a lot. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, Phantasy Star. I was like, oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I loved Phantasy Star. I did pick up a copy of it for the GameCube when I was in high school. I missed that part. A buddy of mine had it, and he gave that to me, so then I rekindled my love for it by playing it on the GameCube. But I fell back in love with it in high school, and then my buddy invites me over to his friend's house, and says that they play PSO on like a private server. I'm like, okay, I didn't even know that was an option. So we go over there, and we're talking, and they let me create a character, and I'm all excited because I graduated high school. I just got a home PC for the first time when I graduated high school, so I was a little behind the times on computer games, so I didn't play World of Warcraft or anything online with friends. I basically just relied on like a PSP to play anything multiplayer. So anyway, all that background story being said, I'm hanging out at their house, and the girl's talking to me, and I'm like, she looks so familiar. I'm like, did you used to work at like the GameStop at this location? She's like, yeah. I'm like, did I give you a Sega Dreamcast like 9 years ago for free? And she freaked out. She's like, what? Oh my God, you're kid. You're that kid. And she just calling me that kid over and over because I'm that kid who gave her Dreamcast. I guess, maybe that was a story that she told people, because it was just kind of a cool thing. Turns out her boyfriend they were living together. Her boyfriend that I met while we were all there, he was going in for a job interview that same day that she was going out to put the console into her car, and he was talking to her about it. He's like, oh man, I haven't seen a Dreamcast in a few years. That's awesome, and so their first conversation to get to know each other was about me giving her the Dreamcast. So in a sense, I kind of hooked him up, right? Small world, just so weird that so anyway, I got to be really close friends with them, and we played PSO and we played other games, and really became like a really close-knit group of friends for many years. But she hooked me up with my first AIM account, and I didn't know anything about AIM. I didn't know anything about instant message groups or anything. And she was like, what do you want your username to be? And I have no idea. So she just said, all right, here's your username, here's your login. My username was the Great Mr. Kid. So to this day, the GMK is just still who I am. Its origin is from PSO. It's from my friends. It's from, I don't think that highly of myself. She just called me the Great Mr. Kid, and here we are. So it was cool. Yeah, honestly, I love that story. I think it's great. I don't usually I won't usually say the Great Mr. Kid because, I'm a grown man. It feels weird to say the Great Mr. Kid to anyone who doesn't understand the origins. And no one calls me, kid anymore, of course, but to this day, my handle is still TGMK. When I play Smash, my handle is TGMK. or just GOK. But it's fun. It's fun to have an origin story like that, and I love that it all comes back to this game. Are the purple wings a permanent fixture of the character, or is this a created character? This, Facet Labs. Hey buddy, thanks for joining. They are a unit, so that you equip them. So I have, different ones. I have these little cockroach-looking guys. They're very ugly. And then I have this one. This is a partner machine called a mag, and a mag boosts your base stats by however much you fed it. Kind of like a Tamagotchi from the 90s, right? So this thing gives me 5 defense, because defense is useless, 130 power, 45 dexterity. So it gives me attack strength, it gives me accuracy, and there's a number of different ones in the game that you can equip. I only made Devil's Wings one because they're an event item, and I wanted to showcase that you can get event items in this game without it having to be Easter or Christmas, because everything is available right out the gate. That's a great question, though. They're not my favorite. It was just the first one that I found, so I was like, all right, cool, I'll use those. And because it has this yellow name, yellow implies that it's rare, and yellow name mags will level faster, so it will feed faster than other mags. Alright, so this quest will drop your camera into a really awful angle, and you can't change it unless you pipe out. I'm gonna go ahead and pipe out. If you guys have been looking at my inventory as I've been talking to myself about my own origin story of my username, you'll notice that my inventory is pretty full, and I have quite a few materials in here, right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mind mats, and I got 3 evades. Now, evades are useless for me right now because I'm not going to max stat. But I'll still pick up the evades because they sell for a decent amount now. Instead of just selling for like 300 a piece, they sell for 2,500. When you die, you lose Meseta. I'm sure there's a patch for it. I like it. It adds risk reward. As to not die. Oh, I didn't bank my money, I better not die and lose 300,000 Meseta. So I like that risk reward, and if you ever need just a quick buck, just sell a PD. You'll make PDs so fast in this game, and each one sells for 10,000. And so do enemy parts. Enemy parts will also sell for 10,000. Not the weapon themselves, but the part. So this weapon is just a very easy option for me because of the mostly cleaving auto target. Come on, Gimbals. So I'm gonna pretty rarely swap to something else. Although I will say that I found these twin chakrams as I was playing the other day, which normally I'm like, whatever, twin chakram, I'm not gonna use a twin chakram. But these twin chakrams are now all class, and it has 85 hit. So for anyone who's not familiar, hit is a very sought after. It's like hitting gold, right? If you found a weapon with high hit, you hit like a jackpot, and hopefully it's a weapon that is worth using. For the most part on this Romhack, most items are worth using. So having 85 hit, if you're playing this in vanilla, that would be borderline impossible. It's like a 1 in 10,000 chance, right? On this server, it's like a 2 in 100, so 1 in 50 chance, maybe about 1 in 100 chance to get 85% as a stat. Hit in vanilla is so rare. Hit in vanilla doesn't exist. I mean, it does, but I remember playing this on the GameCube and eventually seeing something with hit, and I'm like, what? I think the shop was selling something with like 5 hit, and I was just like, I don't even know what that means. It didn't, you never see it, so I didn't even know that it was a thing. Yeah, you're gonna find hit a lot more often. I'm probably not gonna post the actual values of how likely it is to get hit or get the high percents or whatever, because I think that I don't want that to devalue people who found something with like 50%. I want them to be excited that something came with 50%, and not be like, oh well, that's actually not that bad, not that hard to get 50%. And I'm just using 50 as an example, but I don't want people to feel like, oh, that's actually an easier percentage than I thought, so I feel less good about my find now. I kind of just want to keep it under wraps. Whatever you find, and you will likely find things with high percents. Yeah, and a lot of times you'll also find things that are 0. This flight fan, you're going, no matter what class you are, you're going to have a flight fan in your inventory because, watch this. Look at that. You hit across an entire screen, basically. And my inventory's full again. Flight Fan is incredible, and it has Kings. So as we all know, Kings is amazing in this one. I'm on normal, and I'm stealing XP for 20 apiece. You know, killing them only gives me, what was it, like 14 EXP or something? So hitting them with an EXP steal of 20 per swing, even in normal, is incredible. I want you, if you found a good King's weapon, I want you to level up fast. That's the gamble. That's part of the experience. I was playing around a little bit on one of my other little retro handheld devices called an Odin. Not an Odin 2 for anyone who's familiar with those. I'm not that ritzy. I got the Odin 1 when it first came out, and I regret it. But I was playing around on a new file on one of my other handhelds, and I made a Raymar. I was just testing it out, and enforced one an 80 hit King's Saber. So sabers hit 2 targets now. Dropped, and I was level like 3, so I was getting 40 EXP steal per 2 enemies per swing. It got from level like 2 to 10 in like 3 minutes. It was kind of ridiculous, but that's part of it. Since then, I have not found. I've done like probably 4 or 5 different characters, starting over in normal just to test it, and not a single one of them has found a King's weapon that's not reduced. Right? Swords, daggers, shots. I found them all with Kings, but those all have reduced specials, so you didn't get as much EXP from them. But yeah, that one saber was just like, what a cool find, what a good find. And that's another thing too. A lot of the rare weapons in this game will either have, well, as far as like a CC option, they'll probably have Cs instead of arrest. I tried to turn anything that was freeze into Blizzard because Blizzard and freeze are so widely underused. I just wanted people to use Blizzard. You find yourself leveling a lot faster with this mod. A lot faster. Yeah, a lot faster. I'll actually, when I create my, I'm just gathering some mind mats now to show you what it'll look like on a level 1 force. I should have healed. Good gravy. But I'm going to pass my Flight Fan to a level 1 Fomarl just to show you how fast, even with it having no hit on it. I'm going to just give her a couple simple arms units because I haven't found a God Arms yet. You can see I'm just using some basic arms here. So I'm going to show you how quick it is for her. Does King's describe the rarity? No, King's is a kind of special attack. So all rare weapons will just be the name of the weapon, but they have a special underneath, right? Sometimes you'll also see these little orange boxes that'll say question mark in front of the weapon name, and that means you can tech it or turn it into something with a special. So it'll be in its special category, so like King's steals EXP off of enemies, right? So the other specials that steal Kings are called Masters and Lords. So it's possible to find Lord's Saber or King's Saber, and each one has a different caliber of how good it is, right? Online multiplayer available or solo only mainly. So this is online multiplayer will be available. I've been working with Matt with Ragol.org to make I'm going to do a big announcement on Reddit later, but I'll tell you guys right now that I'm working with Ragol.org, the private server, to have a permanent home there for this Romhack so people can play online. I worked with Matt. He showed me screenshots of it separating into groups, so people will, if you're playing vanilla, the game will recognize your unpatched game and play with other people, and if you're playing my Romhack, you will only be able to see groups you can join with my Romhack. Yeah, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting anyone else to tag team with me. This has just been a solo passion project, and because the community has seen my outreach of me being interested in putting this out there, and I really don't want to upset or interfere with other private servers. So Matt was telling me that it's entirely possible to have people on his server if that's what I wanted to do. Otherwise, I could just host my own new PSO server. And I said, dude, if you want to run it, like, yours is already up. If you're okay with that, I would love to tag team this with you. And he was amazing, so gracious. He did it so fast. I am beyond thankful for his his help, his willingness here. So I still have to test it myself and make sure that everything works and there's no issues. How do you see what's in the drop? It seems like nothing changed in the UI. Basic question, I realize. How do you see what's in the drop? Oh, in photon drop. You mean the item photon drop? Is that in my inventory here? Is that what you're talking about? Because if that's what you're asking, a photon drop, when you get the item, the gift thing. Oh, when a little gift box drops on the ground. So the little gift box that drops on the ground, that's just an, like this. So that is just another item that can appear in the game. So these materials used to appear as green, just like items on the ground like this. But most people skip picking these up or walking over, because you have to walk over to see what it is, right? So as we get close to it, oh, go away. All right, as we get close to it, we'll see it'll highlight this green item and say Star Atomizer. When it highlights this thing, it says mined material. So normally mined materials would show up as a green item, and it's very easy to miss them. So I just changed the skin and model of materials to be these little presents. These presents used to be things you would actually open up from your inventory, and it would be like a basic shot or a basic saber or something. But because I'm not doing those event items specifically, these will appear as little gift boxes. And that lets the player know, oh, okay, there's a material on the ground I want to go pick up. I just don't want people to miss the good items. So that is the drop. So that mined material is the drop in the box. The box is just an icon, basically, to say, like, here is a subset of item. Like, here's an example of how the items look. So we'll take a basic weapon, a rare weapon, and an armor. And a... okay. Saves you a lot of time too, because normally you have to walk over every green drop to see if it was actually useful. Yep, that is the problem. So weapons, normal weapons will drop orange boxes like this. Normal armors and units are extra armor pieces that can just boost stats, will drop as this little blue box, right? And a rare drop, no matter what the rare drop is, will drop as a red box and make a little jingle, because I added a patch that makes it show up on your map now and will actually make a sound to let you know, hey, something rare dropped. Huge quality of life. So these are normally the items you see, and then the last one you'll see again is one of those green boxes. That's just a item. It's just a regular item that can appear in the game. So these are the four you're going to see. Now, because this little present box is so underused, I just made this one of those, right? This is normally a green box item. I just changed the model of it to an existing model in the game that's going to be unused otherwise for this ROM hack. So it just really lets you know what's on the floor. You know, if I'm trying to farm rare drops and materials, I'm only going to pick up this guy and this guy, right? I'm not really going to spend time looking at these other items that drop. That just saves me time from having to really go hover over what each thing is. Escape dolls are presents too. Yep. Escape dolls, because of the survival ability of it, you know, I don't want you to miss them. So you'll see escape dolls are also presents. So, yep, materials and escapes. I was going to actually not make defense and evade mats with the present box, because I'm like, nah, no one's going to use them. But I'm like, someone's going to min-max, right? Someone's going to actually want to, like, look up the chart, put in all the right materials. I'm like, all right, I don't want to forego those people. And I'll be one of those people, too, eventually. You know, if I get into, like, the 150 range, if I ever get that far on any one character, I will want to max out. Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, like, we're playing old RPGs. We're probably going to want to see the yellow stats across the board. Something nice I will mention here. All ultimate weapons will all give a minimum of plus 30 to every stat. So if you look at everything other than MST, you're going to see, and attack power, you're going to see everything is boosted by 30, like Centurion ability in Blue Burst, right? That is because I think that ultimate weapons being only equipped by one class should have that added bonus of, like, yeah, buff my stats. That's awesome. And then leveling weapons that do kings that can be equipped right at level 1. You'll see Flight Fan has no requirement and boosts your luck all the way up to 100. So leveling weapons with kings, or leveling weapons like Plantain Fan or Plantain Huge Fan for forces, and for Humara Hunero, do not require any stat to equip and will boost you to 100 luck, just so you can get good crits right out the gate. And that will be weapon specific. So, you know, you could always equip a Godluck in this game. Godluck also gives plus 90, so if you're just trying to level an alt, you can just get some easy plus 90, you know, luck unit and be at 100 luck the entire time you're leveling. Don't spend any luck mats. So you can see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 15 mind mats in the time I've been very casually playing through this. You know, I'm not doing anything crazy. It's just, you know, just slowly collecting. Now, if I do the second part of this quest, more Sinnohs will appear, and I'll be more likely to get power materials. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell Trifluids, bank my Starats. I'm leveling a secondary mag terribly, and I'm doing it for the reason being that I want to make a Chow mag. I found a Heart of Chow. I wish we could stack materials too, man. It's the worst. But yeah, so I'm leveling this mag terribly because I'm trying to make a Chow mag, and Chows require 35 in every stat, which is gross, and I hate it. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to have a Chow mag, especially since units boost so much now. Like, God Mine boost by 85, and God Power boost by 70. So you don't need to have your mag be the top of the food chain. It doesn't need to be the absolute best version of itself. Plus, being able to find Heart of Chow and then actually make a Chow mag is kind of a fun way to actually make Striker of Chow, right? Which is actually a pretty good rod in this game. It hits 4 targets, it's a rod, and it has unreduced arrest. So it's a good little, you know, short-range AoE weapon to stun enemies in front of you. So I think Striker of Chow is actually something worth pursuing in this game, which is cool. You know, I like that. Okay, let's store the Starats. Let's store, just feeding that. Don't need those. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so we're going to go to part 2. Part 1 is... Whoop! I took the regular pipe back. Part 1 is just Mountain. And then the second part is CCA. So we're going to go dive in and fight some Sinnohs. And a lot of people are going to be probably equipping this custom barrier early on, because you'll notice my ATA goes down by 15 when I unequip it. So it does give 15 ATA when equipped. The custom race set is like a dedicated Heaven Striker set in this game. It's honestly incredible. It doesn't have the hit radius of Heaven Striker special, but I mean, this thing hits like a truck if I were to wear all 3. Right now I'm wearing, I found a Ranger Field, which also gives 15 ATA when equipped, and is a level 1 leveling armor for Rangers. So I figure the 30 ATA is better right now than the attack power bonus, because I'm still one-shotting stuff. I'm only playing in normal mode. The change to mag feeding makes it easier to hit the stats you want. Yes, absolutely. Especially for something like Heart of Chow, because Star Atomizer, no matter what mag you're using, will always give plus 25 points to all 4 stats. Heaven Punisher, my favorite weapon in any game. Well, good news, Heaven's Punisher is a 1 in 4 drop on Hildator in episode 2, and it's a 1 in 2 drop on Blueful episode 2. So it's going to be a lot easier to get it in this game. You still have to do the 1 in 500 chance of actually finding a Hildator in episode 2, so it's going to be a little tough, but I really wanted to give episode 2 enough items that, like, it was worth pursuing. I think I was so afraid of episode 2 because I was so bad at it back when I was a kid on the GameCube. I just never played it, right? Plus it didn't have any extra quests, so it was also kind of boring. Episode 2 is a very pretty environment, but it just was missing content, right? Now with all the download quests, Phantasmal World quests, all the custom quests from Ephenia, episode 2 is phenomenal, and it's so cool and difficult. So like, I'm really looking forward to you guys playing through episode 2 content and getting cool and rare stuff. And I'll let you guys in on a fun little secret. Faux Marl? Usually pretty useless. The low attack power doesn't make them super great, and they don't get the natural bonus to the Gi and Ra spells. So I made Heaven Punisher equipable by Phonowhirl. Now, it requires 180 something ATA to equip, and she only maxes out at 186. So she basically has to get to max ATA before she can equip it. But Heaven's Punisher special effect is based off of MST, right? It's based off of your mental strength, and she has the highest mental strength in the game. So I was like, all right, 2 and 2. That sounds like a lot of fun. And it's also based on enemies. I believe it's their light resist or grants resist. What's the character's name? Special question request. Oh, love it. The character I'm talking about is the class is Phonowhirl. So Pho implies force, which is a class in the game, and Nuerl implies a female Newman. And Newman is like an elf in this game. And I hope that's what you were asking about. If you're asking about my character name, I went on a whole 10-minute tangent about what my character name is, so we're not going down that road again. But yeah, Phonowhirl having Heaven's Punisher as just a pocket weapon is just kind of a fun thing. I'm not going to really tell people about. I'm just going to let them discover it, but I'll tell you guys just because we're here, and it's, who cares? 10 people are ever going to play this game, so I'll let the cat out of the bag now. Heck, maybe 11. Maybe 11 will play. So you're asking about the questions earlier about kings, if you're still hanging out with me, Gary. So sometimes you can find weapons like this that have a question mark next to them. So this tells me it is a blaster, which is a kind of rifle, which I just equipped. And when I take it back to town, I can tech it at the techer, and he will tell me what the special is. So there's a way to kind of like adjust the teching process. You don't always have to agree with what they say is the tech, because it can go up or down by 10%. So this, look at the very bottom stat that says hit of 15%. This can go up to 25. And in good news, all of those 3 stats, so the 35, 35, and 15, will all go up or down by 5, 10, respectively, together. I'll never have to tech them individually. But this weapon can go up to 25 hit, and it can be a special attack. What that special attack is, I don't know yet. I have to go figure it out when I take it back to town. But the question mark adds a level of like, I wonder what it could be. Just that fun little waiting game. Like a pack of trading cards you're just excited to open. Oh. So, Gary, apparently can't call yourself a noob on here because the system thinks you're bullying yourself. So, no need to downplay yourself, man. It's pretty funny. I didn't know it did that. Nice that it's looking out for you, though. The only, yeah, there we go. The only downside about this ROM hack that I've run into so far is literally just running out of inventory space constantly. There's a mechanic in this game called DAR, D-A-R, that's drop anything rate. What that means is not only do the monsters that you're fighting have a chance to drop a rare item, but they can drop money, they can drop armors, or items, or weapons. They can drop any plethora of things other than their specific rare item, and their chance to drop something is only on a chance to drop anything. So most enemies in base game have like 30 to
50% drop anything rate, this DAR value, DAR. I increased that to like 80% chance on every monster because I don't want to mess around like trying to farm a monster and make the rate like 1 in 500 and then it's drops nothing most of the time. That's not fun for anyone, you know. So I made the DAR rate for most monsters considerably higher. No hit, 25 hit. All right, so this is the Techer. So we're going to talk to him and see what kind of weapons we have on our question mark weapons. Berserk Pillar. Hilarious. Useful in this game. It has no hit. Even though it has native of 45, ABs to 50, dark of 65. Those are very high values, but it has no hit. And if you're playing a Force, which is the only class that can equip this pillar, it is a rod type weapon. You're going to have a bad time. So we're just gonna vendor that. Eventually you get to a point where you're only picking up specific rare items anyway, so not too bad. Yeah, exactly. You're only going to pick up specific things. You know, if you know an enemy drops a DB Saber and you're sick of seeing DB Sabers, then it's like, alright, that's fine. Alright, more mind mats. And I like to keep, I told you guys this in the last stream, but I like to keep photon drops on me because you get them so frequently. Even in normal mode, I think I might have had 1 on me, so I think I found 3 in this run. And again, I'm playing very casually. You know, I'm not trying to do anything quickly. I'm spending more time talking than I am playing, right? So you're going to find PDs. I think I have a stack right now. Yeah, I have a stack in my stack. I have a stack in my main bank at the moment. And I have 8 in my segment, so I'll just bring that with me. I did find an Easter egg, which houses one of the new like event items. I'm trying to hold on to those anytime I play episode 2. That way I can do like a reveal, you know, video of like opening up multiple at the same time. But I don't know if we'll ever get to that. We'll see. We'll see what comes down the pipeline. All right, die grinder, mind. I'm gonna have like 30 mind materials to give a brand new force right out the gate. Oh, I want to hit the button. Control area camera change disabled. Hopefully that worked. Good. Normally the camera angle at the end of this quest is god awful. I don't know what they were thinking. It's just not good. So developers added in that button to just fix the camera so you don't have to pipe back to town to fix it. Just a nice little quality of life. Alright, let's bust out a flight fan. Dude, okay, so Flight Fan is incredible in this game. It hits like a truck all the way up until Ultimate. It'll still hit Heart and Ultimate, and in fact, the very first weapon I sphered when I got to Ultimate in my first character playthrough, I really tried to take it all the way and just see, you know, what it felt like getting into Ultimate with the gear I had from Very Hard and below. I had this fan was way better than it is right now. It was the damage was the same, but the range was way too far. I accidentally set it to like handgun range. Having increased the horizontal angle on it as well, not only was it like a handgun range of like 170, but I could hit like 65 degrees around me. Sorry about that. So it was silly, right? It was just broken. I was never unequipping it. And I'm like, all right, this isn't a legitimate playthrough anymore. I need to fix this. So I fixed it to be a shorter range. Now the horizontal angle is still that 65% because I really like it hitting around you. I think that's a very fun and interesting weapon choice. And I lowered its horizontal range to match that of vanilla Rainbow Baton. So Rainbow Baton now matches this weapon as far as its horizontal distance and its horizontal angle. So these weapons will pair extremely well together. Rainbow Baton will confuse an entire group of enemies. 7 as well now, not just the previous 4. So Rainbow Baton and this one hit 7 targets further distance than other slicers because neither of them have sacrificial specials. I figured that was probably fine. I'm not going to put this kind of angling or hitboxes on Disc of Bravemen. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give Berserk special this quality of life. But if you use Rainbow Baton, and which is obtainable in very hard now from Magic Stone Irritista, if you use Rainbow Baton to confuse a group of 7 enemies from a distance, let them fight each other, swap to Flight Fan, and then steal a bunch of EXP while they're wailing on each other. I haven't done it outside of like actual just tech demo where I create the weapon in like a mod and then I play around with it. I haven't found a Rainbow Baton yet, but I did test them in a test environment and it worked exceptionally well. I think that's the end of the mission. So both Sinnoh, Spiegel, and Barrel are supposed to give a 1 in 8 power material. I made mind mats easier to get, being 1 in 4, because they're mind mats, right? But power materials, this is a great quest to do it. Any quest that has Sinnoh, Spiegel, or Sinnoh Barrels will be phenomenal for normal mode. And then even, I believe, an even better rate. So those guys are 1 in 8 for power mats. I believe I did Sinnoh Zelly and Sinnoh Zoa, the ones in the seabed. I did those at a 1 in 4 power mat rates. So it's really, really worth playing episode 2, especially in normal mode, to gear yourself when it comes to materials. Okay. And I've been neglecting my mag. Thank God it's almost done. So yeah, we got a lot of mind mats in this run. Yep, Burning Visit will do Die Grinder. Did you mention being able to change your overall section ID? There is an AR code for changing your section ID. I am not including it. I've kind of played with the idea back and forth a few times, because if I found myself doing a cheat enough, if I found myself doing enough of a cheat, because I just didn't want to take the time to make a new character, get a new section ID, the whole 9 yards, then something wasn't right. You know what I mean? I didn't want section IDs to be something so important to the game, because you're just not finding things on one ID. You really just need to be the other ID. So I ultimately made the decision to forego it. If you do a quick Google search of Action Replay Code, Phantasy Star Online, GameCube, there's an entire forum where I pulled my codes from originally, and you can find how to change section ID. It's within the extended dressing room, so you'd have to have extended dressing room enabled anyway, and then you name your character like a code, and then that code is tied to a section ID mod. So I'll tell people how to do it. I'm not going to include it with mine because it's kind of outside of the scope. I made myself a Greenel on this character, and I think I'm just going to stick with that, because like if we do just a quick look at do a quick look at the drop charts. Let's just go straight to Ultimate, because that's where all the... Actually, I made the page today for the section ID rates. So other than just looking at the drop charts, which are kind of cluttered because it's every monster on every difficulty, now you're going to see if I'm a Viridia, what am I going to get, right? What are my 2x rates? Most, if not all of these, are already available to obtain on every single other ID. These are just the 2x rate. So Dark Belra drops a Crush Bullet for the group 1 that Viridia is in a 1 in 64 chance. 64 is not breaking the bank in PSO, right? That's easy money. That's easy money in this game, because we all know, if we've played this game in the past and wanted a rare weapon, it was like thousands. 1 in like 2,500 for a sealed J sword or something, right? 1 in 28,000 for handgun gold on a sorcerer and ultimate. Like, give me a break, Sega. Come on. But the 2x rates aren't breaking the bank. I'd say the only thing that you really want to look for is in Ultimate, there are items that are like 1 in 512. So those are going to be a little bit harder to get if you're not that ID. But like, I'm telling you, 512 is obtainable in PSO. 512 is achievable. And if you didn't get it the day you were playing, that's okay. Go farm something else. Fight other quests that include that monster. There's a good chance you're going to get it in a couple days, you know. So I don't think section IDs is going to make that big of a difference. I want people to either pick a name that they like and not really worry about a section ID, or name yourself something based off of a section ID and then change your name later, because you can do that with the extended dressing room. You just change yourself back to whatever you want your character name to be. Lavis Cannon. Yeah, Lavis Cannon's so good. I love Lavis Cannon so much. So for example, you know, you see Poily Slime here is the rare slime, so that's already a 1 in 500 chance to get Lavis Cannon. To get him to appear, and then to get Lavis Cannon is a 1 in 4 for all IDs. Now Lavis was historically a Redria ID, so what I did was I made it 2 times. So if we scroll down and look at Redria, we're going to see here Poily Slime, Lavis Cannon, 1 and 2. Right? It's just a 2x rate. So whatever it is on the drop chart itself, this page just tells you definitively what that 2x rate is. But if you can do the math, you can see right here, if it was 1 in 4 for anyone else and it's 2 times for Redria, that means it is a 1 in 2 drop chance. So not terrible. I want it to appear often enough that you could find one with hit, right? I don't want it to just be something hidden behind a wall of, well, I got it. I got the weapon. So like, if it has percents, great. If it doesn't, well, I'm never getting it again. So that's fine. And I do want to mention to you guys that with the, with Excalibur being such a sought after weapon in Blue Burst, I'm still talking to the camera like you guys can see me. With Excalibur being such a sought-after weapon in Blue Burst because of the cleave, I made Red Saber almost stat identical. Just instead of having the same raw power, I made it lower power and I gave it a high grind. So it is a 3-target saber that does Berserk and is equipable by everyone except for Fonuel and has an 800 attack power requirement, just like Excalibur. Alright, let's swap back to my displays. There we go. But yeah, so section ID shouldn't really be much of an issue. Were any changes made to the rarity of rare enemies, or are they the same? They're the same. I think rare enemies is fun. I don't think you should be finding a rare enemy all the time. I will say, as far as finding a rare enemy all the time, and I'm about to contradict myself here, I did include the quest Strange Sighting, which I showcased in the first one, which is a guaranteed Hilda Blue or Hilda Tor at the very end. So I think the guaranteed Hilda Tor is nice, and I'll go back and show you my drop charts for Hilda Tor in Ultimate Episode 1. Hilda Tor is Frozen Shooter across the board, right? I think that a guaranteed chance at a Frozen Shooter in a single-player campaign, that's nice, right? If you're playing a Ranger, you're gonna have Spread Needle for just general crowd control, and you're gonna have a Frozen Shooter. Yes, you'll still use those. Yes, Frozen Shooter still has its very specific kind of freeze attribute that works extremely well. Plus, you can use the pipe trick if you really want to get a rare enemy to spawn. That's true, right? You could just pipe for rare enemies. Plus, with all the new available downloaded quests that just spawn a ton of certain enemies. You know, if you're trying to do slimes or lilies, do max attack 4C. You can get a room of like 4 to 8 or whatever at a time. You know, split the slimes if you don't get anything, pipe back, right? So it's definitely plausible to do, especially on this version of the game, to pipe if you really want to pipe. All right. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking so much. Can't keep up with myself. So the first quest we just did, which took an hour. Oh my god. First quest we did net me about 5 PDs, 4 or 5 PDs, and I got a ton of mind mats. So now what I'm going to do is really quick show you. I'm trying not to talk too much. I'm going to really quick show you guys how to very easily get Die Grinder, Tri Grinder, TP material, and a potentially guaranteed PD. Phantasmal World number 3. If anyone's familiar with playing this game online, you're probably familiar with this quest for the first 3 minutes of it. Because in the first, it's like 2 or 3 rooms, there are like 40 something boxes. And box farming is extremely good if you're trying to get, charge Vulcans or a charge caliber or arms with high hit, right? A certain weapon that is just a common weapon that you want to drop with a rare special, or if you're trying to get a caliber or an arms to put parasitic gene flow on, right, for your PGF. So I'm going to do this in normal mode because the drop rates for die grinders, tri grinders, TP material, and PD are very high. So these guys will drop TP material. I got 1 off of all of them. That's amazing. It's a 1 in 4, by the way. So the fact that I got all 3 of them to drop is amazing. So Dom Darls will drop TP material, and Dolmoms will drop die grinder. And when we get into this next room, we're going to take out a couple of Dolmoms, hopefully get a couple more die grinders, and then we're going to take out the Morphos behind me, which have a very high chance to drop tri grinders. So if anyone who's not familiar with how to take out the Morphos without them shooting lasers at you, you can see one on my mini-map in the corner there. He won't shoot a laser at me if I don't turn my camera to him. So all I do is just point my character at him and shoot. So you see my little cursor face toward him. So 1 dropped out of 2. Not bad. Take those guys out. Alright, so I got a lot in this first room, right? Now I'm going to do this part first. I'll show you why in a second. So we want to put room in my inventory. So we're going to equip my Burning Visit, because that's the only weapon I have that can still use grinders. We're at 113. In that first 2 rooms alone, we're now at 120. We just got 7 grind in a minute, right? That's incredible. I'm going to use my TP materials, even though I'm going to make a force, because it doesn't matter. Let's open some boxes. Ton of boxes. Most boxes you'll ever see in a quest in one sitting. Awesome. So no event items, but it is entirely possible to get event items here, and this is probably going to be the best place to do it once you get to Ultimate, to farm boxes to get event items more easily than anywhere else. Right, picking up all the money, useless drops, equip my good gun, and pierce. Another die grinder. Useless. Is this like a daily quest or a one-off? So this is not really like daily quest in this game. This is something that you can do that's just kind of escape dome. This is something that you can do that's just kind of easy. The whole quest is actually tough. Like this quest is not playing around. And episode 2 hits like a truck. I'm pretty heavily geared for what I'm doing right now. If you've ever played like Diablo, this is basically like the entry-level difficulty, whereas the whole point of Diablo is to play like Torment 13 or whatever, like the highest, craziest difficulties. PSO has 4 difficulties: normal, hard, very hard, and ultimate. When you play online, they're level locked, so you can't get into hard mode until you're level 20. However, in the GameCube version, once you beat the final boss of the first or second episode, this game comes in 2 episodes, just like different zones, basically. Once you beat the final boss, doesn't matter what level you are, you can get into the next tier difficulty right away. So in this game, the goal is to get to Ultimate, the highest tier difficulty, and to get a lot of really cool gear, right? So this quest, in normal mode, the enemies are going to be the weakest that they'll ever be. And I am doing this because they're very easy to take out, and they drop these materials that are just quality of life to help get me more damage, get me more base stats, improve my character across the board. So it just helps. It's a very easy way to help your character kind of build without actually having gained levels, if that makes any sense. Alright, so that's the end of the quest. I could keep going, but that's the portion that, that's my loop. Delbiter has a 1 in 2 chance, so a 50% chance to drop a PD in normal mode. I figure, why not give the player a few extra chances to get a few extra PDs here and there? Because I want you to go to Gallon Shop, and I want you to spend PDs, and I want you to improve any weapon that you enjoy without it having to be the best weapon available in the game. All right, so that is what farming grinders and TP materials looks like. We found quite a bit of mine mats, so I'm gonna go ahead and bank my gear here. I won't get to 40 tonight. We're gonna go make a force and just see what I can equip right out the gate. Delsaber's Buster is gonna be huge, and enemy part weapons with the quest The Lab can now add hit percents. So I actually found a I found a Delsaber's Buster I had to tech. So I teched it up to 45 A Beast and 30 Dark, and then I did the quest The Lab to apply hit to enemy part weapons. So if you find one without hit and it only has a 1 or 2%, you can add up to 50% hit on those weapons. And I just want to mention this because it's a bit of a slap in the face. I got this Monkey King bar, which is going to be your bread and butter for EXP steal as early as Day Relay in hard mode. I got this one with 25 hit. I'm like, cool. First one's got hit. I'm going to go ahead and grind it. I spent a long time getting 175 grinders. And then I did Day Relay as soon as I was done and found one that was just the exact same, just better all the way across the board. Just, okay. Well, that's a slap in the face, but that's fine. That's fine. We're here. Planting leaf. Okay, I don't have hit on it though, Ragol. Yeah, not my favorite thing. Yeah. So we do have a force field, which is again a level 1 equip that will boost MST by 50. So I will need to slot that. So we'll do that right out the gate. And then as soon as I hit 17, I'll equip Sacred Guard, which also gives another 50 MST boost. I want people to play forces, and I want them to get tech boosts. You know, Angel Mind now gives 50, right? I'm gonna actually play force. Doesn't have any magic attacks because there's nothing in my there's nothing here. Let me see if the shop has anything. Okay, Resta, Zonde, Zalur, Foy. All right. Well, they're not amazing, but you know it's gonna be a level 1 force, so I can't really complain. Okay, so we're gonna save and quit. I am gonna make a Pinkle because I like what Pinkle drops. Pinkle in hard mode on Lilies has a chance to get Plantain Leaf at the 2x rate. And Plantain Leaf is a level 1 equip. It's a really good rod that all classes can equip right out the gate and hit 3 targets. So it's, you know, got decent damage. It's actually worth using on pretty much anyone. But a force can turn it into Plantain Fan, and Plantain Fan is ridiculous, and I'm very excited to show you Plantain Fan. It hits like a truck. It shouldn't be as good as it is, but it is amazing, and I'm very, very excited to show you that. It's probably my favorite weapon in the entire series here that I'm going to show you. That and Power Mazer is actually incredibly fun. I just boosted Power Mazer to such an extent that, like, it's just awesome. Power Mazer was just useless before. You never had a Power Mazer, and now you're going to want one if you play a Force. You might want one if you play, you know, a hybrid character like a Ranger, like a Raymar or Raymarl, but ultimately, if you play Force, you're going to want that weapon. Which one do I do? I think it's this one. And I just know that that name gives Pinkle, so it's the one I use the most for that ID. Alright, so the goal of this character is to get as much gear on her at level 1 as possible. We're going to go to Paganini's shop in episode 2 and get 4 ad slots. Set up the armor, set up her pallets, and then just basically go run a TTF to beat Dark Falls. As soon as we beat Dark Falls, we can get into hard mode. So my goal is to do that. 709. My goal is to do that in like 20 minutes. So let's see what happens. All right, let's go to message speed. All right, we'll set my customized bar here. And again, I'm going to be using the multi-palette setup. So it will, if anyone's not used to the multi-palette, you can set up multiple palettes, save them, register them, and you can have 4 different sets of 6. And it is incredible. Twins, Stella, Pilla, Foy, Zande, Barda. Nope. Giveaway. Nope. Gizande, Barda. And down here we have Resta, Jones, Allure, Anti. Let's throw Grants on there because it's a Fomal. I'll do Trifluids. I'll do Difluids. So they're more likely to appear. Okay, so now I have my 4 palettes. Great. Alright, so let's bank. And let's take 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's grab all these mind mats. Good lord. Okay. And now to use them all. $23. Nope, 27. 27 mind mats in 1 run. That's not bad. Let's grab all these techs I can't use yet. Grab a god battle. Grab an angel TP. A couple dragon HPs. A couple angel mines. Throw god power in there. Force field. Huge fan. Flight fan. Don't have a gun. What can I do with 25 ATA bonus? Hook up C-slot gun. Very good. Alright. Let's... Oh, I need magic water. Which I don't have. So let's go buy a magic water. God power, angel mine, dragon HP, angel TP, god battle. Yeah, the WAP from the fans. Yeah, it's awesome. It's very silly. I'm a huge fan. I kind of like the comedy weapons. You know, I never got like a Kiko's Walk when I was younger. So it's kind of fun to just be able to actually get all those Nope, wrong one. Kind of fun to actually be able to get all those now. Whoop, I'm sliding away. Alright, so even though we started in episode 1, I'm doing an episode 2 quest. I am going to advise against this across the board except for shop quests because you're not hunting anything. I've said before, but I'll say it again. If you start in, you know, episode 2 and you do an episode 1 quest that has Boomas, Boomas don't appear in episode 2, so they won't drop anything if you started in episode 2 and do an episode 1 quest that fights Boomas. So if you're, best case scenario, if you're starting in episode 1, do episode 1 quest. If you really want to do an episode 2 quest, save and exit, go into episode 2. Alright, so we need 4 ad slots. So with the first one. I said no. Paganini. Oh my god, I did it again. Slow down. Thank you. Yes. Alright, so I'm buying items called ad slots off this guy. They will add a slot to my... Oh my god, I did it again. They'll add a slot to my armor. And you can have up to 4 slots on your armor. Slots allow you to put units into your armor. And those units will boost raw stats like attack power or magic power or your accuracy. Things like that. 16. Magic water. Yes. Yes. Alright, we are done with Paganini. Alright, so now we see I've got my force field armor here. It has no slots, so I'm going to go ahead and use all 4 ad slots. And now if we look at my equipment, we'll see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 slots available. So we're going to put God Battle to increase my attack speed. We're going to do God Power to hit harder out the gate. We're going to equip an Angel Mind, 2 of them for now, to boost my TP. And I'm also going to equip one of these weapons. So probably going to equip Plantain Huge Fan because you can see the MST boost. The second orange value down goes from 255 to 505. So if you watch my TP bar at the very top, that blue bar, this goes up considerably, right? So now I should be able to use all of these techs no problem. And now that we have Plantain Leaf, sort, we should be able to use Magic Water, and that Plantain Leaf is going to become Plantain Fan. So Plantain Fan is amazing for forces, and I can't wait to show you. Also, we're going to remove an Angel Mind in favor of an Angel TP, because look how much TP it boosts. Boom. So we got a lot of TP now. And no, that is not toilet paper. Thank you for the follow, Stop Logic. I really hope that's my friend and not just a random stranger. I'm gonna feel like a huge creep if that's just a random stranger. All right, so we got our Plantain Fan, Plantain Huge Fan. These are just alternate options for a force, but really you're gonna be using Plantain Fan. Did I not do the math on how much dex that was gonna give me? I was at 63. Shouldn't this give me 85? 25? No, I did the math wrong. If I had a 50 hit or 50 dex mag. Woof. Alright, so we're going to go do TTF. So for anyone who is unfamiliar, TTF is the most run quest in the entire game. It is one zone, and then a boss, and then another zone, and then a boss. And you do it until all 4 bosses are complete, all 4 bosses that exist in Episode 1. It is a boss rush quest, and it is abused to high heaven, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. But just once. And never again. So if you're paying attention to how good this weapon is, it's very good. That's BD. Oh, Goobo. I forgot I dropped their arms in normal mode. And if you don't want to do the projectile, you can just swing up close and it'll still hit 3 targets. So you're not tailored to just having to do that. But yeah, Plantain Fan's special is, I believe, hard damage. So let's group these guys up. So I'll just show you what a normal melee swing looks like. It does, just as much damage, basically. We'll do a light and then a couple heavies. So you can still cleave, swing around, hit some targets, equip that barrier. Or you can... it's the same projectile radius as double cannon. So it's not going to be as... It's not going to be the same, value exactly, where double cannon shoots, the 4, waves out, but it is still going to hit in a pretty cool wave. Or it's going to do its little projectile. You know what I mean. 1 second here. Oh, man. I keep forgetting to do that. I have to remove... There's a limitation I must have put on Twitch where you have to have a verified account to watch the stream or whatever. I didn't mean to do that, I don't think. I'm kind of new to Twitch, so I have to go fix that. Alright, so the good thing about this is the projectile will hit up too, so I can just kind of launch some of this. And it'll also raise your photon blast, as you can see that being raised very quickly. Now, I'm going to show you Plantain Huge Fan. Now, it hits for less damage, but it hits a lot of targets. Now, this is also a zeroed weapon. Both of these weapons are zeroed. So if that helps you understand, like, what I'm doing here. Alright, so I didn't do any EXP stealing, and I got to level 4 in 3 minutes, right? So that's not bad. And I am opening all the boxes because there's a chance I can get PDs, so might as well. Fans are so cool in this game. Well, this fan is cool in this game. Oh, you mean these ones? Yeah, these are like unique specialty weapons, and that function differently, a bit differently than they do in vanilla. But I really like these weapons. These weapons are severely underused in the real game because they just don't. They're just outclassed by anything in their class. And I really want to make them more interesting because I really like the aesthetic. I think that they're very cool and interesting weapons that are just going to be completely passed over every time. So I'm running down this hallway. That was a hidden door because it will spawn a specific monster. There's a speedrun version of this quest that pretty much everyone knows how to do if you've ever played this game before. This shark just spawns, so as soon as I knock him out, I don't have to wait for the entire room to be empty. I can just go through this door. I'm going to knock out a few enemies, though, because I want to steal some EXP. So I have 49 EXP to my next level. So let's group these sharks. And we'll show you just how fast you get that 49 EXP. Got it. Stealing 20 EXP a pop. When you kill them, you only get 10 EXP. So now, I need 379 EXP to level. I should get that in this room. Oh, I can equip my lock on. $69. I might not get it. No, I'm gonna get it. There it is. Just in time for me to get bodied. And I don't have antidotes or anti yet, so we're just gonna have to wait until we find an antidote to cure that. Lack of hit on this weapon and this class. Woof. I'm so used to playing a Raymar. I'm so spoiled by accuracy. Oh, Priest Mind minus. Yikes. Come on, red slime. I don't need one. It'll just be fun to see. I don't have Rabarda yet. I do have Gibbarda. No, I thought I had Gibbarda. I didn't buy it. Because I'm like, who cares about Gibbarda? Alright, whatever. Oh, my god. I forgot the shark in the last room. Let's go take him out real quick. Okay. I didn't bring a pipe, so I can't go back and get anything, but that's okay. I don't need it. We want Flight Fan. So slicers are notoriously one of the best like melee options for this boss, because he swims around either side of the boat that I'm going to spawn onto. So you want a slicer so you can hit him from afar, and because the range on this is extended so greatly, I should be able to hit him pretty consistently. Mentioned something about leveling weapons, I think. Are they available from the start early on? So this Flight Fan is a leveling weapon because it doesn't... You'll see that there's no stat requirement under it. So you can equip it right at level 1. And leveling implies that it has kings, most likely. So the weapons that are leveling weapons that don't have kings are Plantain Fan and Plantain Huge Fan. So you'll see both Plantain Huge Fan here and Plantain Fan don't have any stat requirement. The only inventory item I have with stat requirement is this general Seize Lock gun, right? It's a very basic Seize Lock gun. So we're going to swap to Plantain Fan and do some cleaving. Boom, dead. Look at that. Just destroyed. So leveling weapons, there are... Believe it or not, Sealed J-Sword is a leveling weapon. You can equip it right at level 1. You just have to find it. So... Oh, watch this. Oh, wait, wrong weapon. No, I just ruined my whole display. Alright, I'll do Plantain Fan from here. Boom. Boxes. So, leveling weapons, this one and this one, technically not leveling weapons because they don't give kings because they have a unique special, but they do both boost raw text by 40%. So leveling in the sense of get through the content quickly, yeah, that's going to do it. But there's Flight Fan, which is all class. There's Sealed J-Sword, which is hunter only, and it has kings on it now. So you can actually kill things with it while stealing XP, so it's not a slog. You don't have to do Sealed J-Sword in normal on a Uniworld using magic, right? I made the weapon hit hard. If you invest the 200 grinders, you can now do on Sealed J-Sword. It's much more worth it to actually swing with it now. And because it can hit like a truck, I put kings on it that way. You could go back and fight early levels and still kill enemies with it, and still get decent XP from killing with kings, right? Alright, let's do Plantain Fan. No, let's go back to Flight Fan. I've been neglecting my XP steal on this run. Honestly, I should throw a... Oh, I didn't put any arms units on her. Woof. I should have thought about that. Nice. Ah, telepipe. Very good. I might just go back. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Alright, so before I go, get my twins. Oh, I got sidetracked. So, Flight Fan is all class leveling weapon for kings. Sealed J-Sword is leveling weapon for kings, for hunters only. And then we've got Nug Bazooka, is available as an Easter egg drop at a 1% drop chance from Easter eggs. And then it's also available in Ultimate on Gal Griffin to actually farm with percents. That is Ranger specific, obviously. It hits like 10 targets and is a bazooka. And then there's no force specific one, you know, that's the Plantain Fan. The tech boosting is so nice, and the AoE double saber animation is just so good that I figured like that's fine. But because forces can also use Flight Fan, they're not missing anything. And then I also added 2 spread needle variants. There's an Ono rifle and a anti-android rifle that are S rank. They're spread needle, they're S rank needle weapons, and I reskinned them with an anti-android rifle and Ono rifle. So there are 2 anti-android rifles in the game, a yellow name, regular one, and a red name that's S rank spread needle, basically. Anti-android rifle S rank is equipable by everyone that's not an android, right? And Ono rifle S rank is equipable by every android. They come with the availability of 70 grind, like a normal S rank needle. And their special is kings. Now, because they are S rank weapons, they can't get percents. So what I did was boost their base ATA by an additional 50. So if their base was like 40 or 45 before, they're now 90 or 95 respectively, which implies a 50 hit needle. That will give every class, not just rangers, the close range CC option of slowly taking out enemies with a needle if you really want to, without the like sheer power, right? There's not a lot of power behind that weapon. But the point is to be able to keep enemies in check and be able to hit 5 at a time with kings and not worry about what percents you got on the weapon. Those 2 are the hardest to find, I think, second only to SJS in Ultimate, but still, yeah, it's like a 1 in 64 drop in very hard. Like, it's not that hard. It's just I put them on Del Depth and Del Biter, so it'll be a little annoying to get them. You'll have to fight enemies you don't really like fighting. Alright, let's go with Farm. I should grab MKB. Yeah. Alright, so I showcase Plantain Heat. I'm going to put that away because I don't actually want to use it on this character. I don't need mine because I'm not doing force stuff. And let's just go ahead and... Oh, we'll save our grinders. No need to spend them on something I don't want to use it on. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Nice, anti-1. Such little money. Do I have... Okay. I'm not even using TP right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and put my HP units on, actually. Yeah, I'll just put them on now. Do I have any... My AT is still so low. Plus 18 would not get me up far enough for this fight. I'll show that. How difficult is it to customize item effects like spread needle, like changing yellow needles to another color? It's probably not that hard. I know people have done it. That's not something that I'm doing at this time, but if you edit the image files and then re-upload them over that file in the game, the spread needle shot file, the item texture, should be pretty easy to do. I know people in the skinning community who would be able to answer that question much better than me, so if that's something you're interested in pursuing. Personally, I can probably get you to the right people, but what am I doing? I keep forgetting my XP steals. These guys also have a chance to drop mono grinders, which is not bad. Yeah, most of the people in the community that I talk to are we've all bounced around the different private servers since, like, 2007, 2008, whenever that started. It's been really fun, seeing like the same people interacting with everyone over the years. I've had people help skin stuff for me in the past. People enjoy this game. They enjoy skinning and modding, and they just love this game, and I'm right there with them. I'm intentionally taking out the smells because they have a chance to drop tri-grinders and add slots. So that's what we just did. Alright, give me 1 second. So something else fun about Flight Fan is it has a better vertical hitbox. So what I'm going to do is spawn this dub chick. I'm going to get right up under this little box over here, and I'm just going to take it out. There we go. So now you don't need to bring, a specific little throwing card or anything to hit it through the ceiling anymore if you know that trick. Only downside is I don't have something to cheese this fight, because I don't have Gazande. I don't have Gazande yet, which is fine. I don't need to cheese. Oh, I have Razande though. Okay, so we're fine. Alright, so let's pop a couple of fluids in there. Hit him through the wall with some Razande. Why not? Resonding? Who knows? Alright, so Volop can be hit behind the wall, so we're going to do just that. There we go. A little faster than I was expecting, but it works. I was hoping to do it in one combo. That's alright. One of the few reasons I'm jealous of faux characters. Yeah, so in good news, I'm going to have weapons that I still have to finish testing and make sure it works, but I have an Agito that can do an AoE Tempest special. So it can hopefully hit behind the wall. The other thing I'll mention to you, I assume you play like a Raycast or a Huecast or one of the casts. Even though it's not as much damage, you can use a red handgun with Tempest, which you probably already know this, but you can use a red handgun with Tempest to hit the screen, and it'll do more damage. Even though it doesn't look like it's doing it, it'll do more damage to him behind the screen than a standard shot damage would do. Yeah, Raycast. Gotta love the Raycast. If only we didn't have that clunk, 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 clunk every time we walked. Raycast is one of my like top 3, easily. I just love all the force options. Okay, it's gonna be a 70-hit autogun. Yeah, the steps. Clunk, clunk, clunk. It's like, why do you play Raycast? Well, I like Raycast, and I don't want to sound like a truck every time I'm getting anywhere, so that's why I play Raycast. Don't have anything to hit those with. It's actually not true. Oh, this. Funny. Technically, we could patch out the Raycast stepping sounds, but it's like, it's part of it. That's fine. Night powers, night powers. I guess I should. Let's check out these two guys real quick. Oh, nice. PD. So this Arrest fan, I found on the last stream, it has 0 hit. But we're going to see how well it does cleaving a few targets here. Look at that. 0 hit Arrest. So, like, I'm telling you, basic Rons and Wands being able to hit multiple targets and be unreduced is actually really good for any force that wants to be a melee force from the beginning. You get used to it after 100 hours. Yeah, you kind of miss it. You start walking somewhere, you don't hear that clunky steps, you'll be like, am I moving? Am I getting anywhere? Let's do MKB. Oh yeah, an MKB is a leveling weapon. It's not a level 1 leveling weapon. It does require just shy of 300 attack power to equip it, but if you have a 150 power mag, you can equip it on any class right at level 1, right? Because that's going to give you 300 power. I love all the options this game gives you to express. That is one of the best things about this game that I've never seen properly replicated in other games, is the freedom of creativity of your arsenal, your weapons, right? Like, people compare this game to, like, Diablo, which, fine, I get it. But, like, in Diablo or World of Warcraft or whatever, you find a rare weapon that's just better than the last one, and then that's just what you use. But in this game, it's based on the situations of the enemies that come up to you. You don't have an attack palette. I mean, you have magic attacks you can use if you play a magic user, and traps if you play an android. But you have no, like, skill cooldown that you're doing, right? You just have the requirement of what enemy groups are coming at you right then and there. What enemies are coming up on me, how do I best take them out? Weapons are more like tools. Yeah, weapons are more like tools, absolutely, right. Whatever tool is best for that project or that environment. that's what you're going to use. This flight fan is going to be used for everyone for most things now, but you use a handgun to finish off an enemy from a distance. You use a big spread shot to take out enemies. I wonder, this won't hit 2 heads, will it? No, it will not, but it is my strongest option, so. Oh, you know what? I bet I could. I can't reach him. No. Ugh. Phase 1 might be a little hard for me because I don't have a good ranged option. Nope. Hit him. Hilarious. Now I'm stuck in the corner. Ah, it doesn't even matter. I took him out. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, it's exactly as old school RPGs just said. Weapons are like tools. So you just find the weapons you like, the tools that you like, and then you find yourself in situations where one is better than the next. I bring this normal little lock-on with me because it has 65 hit. So it's going to make me more accurate than other weapons, and I can target a single target from a distance. So if I can't get up close in time, I can do that, right? Oh, come on. And every weapon is a 3-hit combo, so a lot of them are pretty easy to understand. The melee ones are a little bit more complicated to understand, the exact timing of them. But you eventually learn that using a sword, the frame animation on sword is oh, I don't have souls. Oh no. Oh, I'm just gonna get nuked. See you later. What was I gonna say? Oh, Marketing bar. Yes. No. Okay, I got a few good hits. I lost my train of thought anyway, so that's fine. Nice, there we go. Easy mode. Again, I have a bunch of gear, and I have a mostly leveled mag that I keep neglecting to feed. So this is not far off the scope of vanilla PSO if you have gear. You can take out the basic boss right at the beginning. Something I definitely want to showcase is Beating Dark Falls nets you a 7-8 chance to get a Devil Battle, which is the speed of the previous God Battle. So now new God Battle is 40%, matching Blue Burst with Heavenly Battle. Devil Battle was useless in the previous game, now is worth using, and putting it at the end of normal mode I think just puts for quality of life for anyone going into hard mode, which is exactly what we're going to do now. We beat the final boss, we're level 13, we're going to go into hard mode and get we're going to get messed up. we're going to get beat up in hard mode. In fact, before that, I can get some easy levels. I'm not actually going to use this, but it was cool that I found it. Let's get some soul atomizers. Okay, let's check our auto gun. See, this has 55 and 60, so we're going to get 65 and 70. Let's hope for a good special. That's not a good special. Alright, that's fine. Put this in the normal bank, put the grinders in the common bank. Okay, so that's TTF. It took a little longer than normal, kind of putzed around a bit. It's still 24 minutes for all 4 bosses in the game. It's not bad. I went from level 1 to 13, so it's pretty quick, and I kept forgetting to use EXP Steal on groups of enemies. Plus her accuracy isn't amazing, so she's probably not the best person to showcase ATA based weapons right out the gate, but that's okay. I'm going to show you guys the max attack quest, and the reason I'm going to show you the max attack quest is because there's a good amount of enemies in it, but I want to mention specifically that for whatever reason the downloads of max attack 4th stage, so we have 4th stage 1C, and down here we have 4th stage 2C, so that's episode 1 and episode 2 respectively. At least the episode 1 one is broken, so if you time out, because it has a timer in it, or if you, I assume if you complete it, it will also glitch, but like when Tyrell tries to give you your reward, the game just freezes and bricks and shuts down. I think it works online, no problem, but for some reason the offline one doesn't work that well. But I really like the spawn groups of this quest. You can tell the veteran PSO player by how fast they menu. Yeah, yeah. Auto sort, put these in this bank, put this in this bank. Yeah, man. That quick menuing. But anyway, I really like the spawn groups in this quest. The only downside is that it is borked. So just have to make sure I exit before the timer is up. So my MKB is going to be the most accurate EXP steal weapon for any class starting out. So I'm just going to plow through some easy levels here. Hitting lilies I can't even see. Something fun I will mention is that for whatever reason, when they made this game, this character, the faux Marl that I'm playing, is not really supposed to be using shotgun type weapons, but in Blue Burst she was able to equip one called Rambling May, and for whatever reason her attack animation with it is so much faster than the other classes. I wanted to replicate that because Rambling May is a really cool and fun episode 4 exclusive. So what I did was I gave forces the availability to equip Flame Visit, which is the precursor to the ultimate weapon Burning Visit for a Raymar. Even though the shot animations, the actual shot itself is kind of slow, her actually shooting it is going to be ridiculously fast. And it has Spirit now as its special, so you can really actually use it on a foe Marl as a distance ranged weapon and sacrifice some of your MP, your TP, to be able to cast like a special high-end attack with it. Come on. I should just wait until I'm out of this room to do antidotes. There we go. Nice. So much XP. 417 to level. And level, right? Like, you get 10 EXP or 12 EXP off of each of these enemies, and I just leveled with 400 needed, just from EXP steal. So it goes pretty quick. And it'll still go fast, like up until like, 100 or 110. XP steal is still worth using, and the more powerful you get, the faster you'll actually be not only stealing XP but knocking out enemies to do quest progression to actually get drops. I intentionally made MKB do less damage. The weapon I'm using right now, I made it do less damage than its original, not because of the triple target, but because the King's Special does such low damage already. I wanted you to actually have a kind of a beat stick option, right? If you wanted a weapon to just kind of sit on a group of enemies and steal EXP without doing too much damage, and just kind of farm EXP off of them, right? That would be available to you. Alright, so this is the Lily route. We'll go Lily route. I like it less than the slime route, but I'm not trying to farm slimes, so... Low accuracy. Oh my gosh, I'm storing my HP units. It's part of it. 18's gonna not make or break the bank, but might help a little bit. I should just be taking them out. I shouldn't be trying to do XP steal on these guys. Yeah. Let's do the next group. Not gonna worry about the lilies. Whew! Knocking my whole table around and slip sliding away. Oh my gosh, 750 already? How do I already only have 10 minutes left? Oh man. I just want to play PSO. Come on. Alright, I love this group. It's one of my favorite groups. Nope. Oh, I did get him. Nope. No dragon. No, no. Thank you. Let's see what that question mark shot was. Useless. That's alright. Alright, so now we are in the mines. I'm gonna get hit by that. Ah, nice. Oh, I missed. There we go. Nope. Come here. Not close enough. Nice. It's gonna be a PD. Oh, ha! I clipped him. Yeah, using PB to dodge, it's the only way. Nice, and another level. I think I got 2 levels in this quest already. 2 or 3. Wait a minute, I was 13. I got 4 levels already in this quest. Come on. MKB is going to be like your favorite weapon. That wasn't supposed to go sideways. What? MKB is going to be absolutely incredible. And again, all classes. Just a 295 attack power equip. I figure that's not hurting anyone. Grinder here. Oh, nope. No, come on. Yeah, the fan is awesome. It's so cool. You won't find it in legit PSO, but you'll find it in mine. Alright. My inventory is screaming at me. So I have to go put away some grinders. MKB being a 1 and 2 on Day Relay hard mode for all IDs is just phenomenal. I want you to start doing EXP steal as early as that. You know, if you find something earlier than that, awesome, more power to you. You know, get up, get moving. But if you didn't, and it took until Day Relay hard mode, you know, if you don't find one in a 1 and 2, you probably feel like, all right, I'll do another TTF and just go run Day Relay one more time, you know, because it'll only take a couple minutes. Like, that's worth committing to. I didn't want the drop tables to be so cumbersome that you feel like, oh man, I got the drop, but it's like 0 hit and it's a 1 in, you know, 700, so I'm just never gonna take the time to do it again. Like, I wanted stuff that's gonna help you level be attainable. I also wanted to hide Flight Fan in Ultimate, but I ultimately decided to put it in Very Hard Nano Dragon at just a 1 in 64 rate, because Nano Dragons don't appear too often, and if you're in Very Hard, you still got a ways to go for leveling, so why not? No. Oh, well, I guess I have enough HP. That doesn't matter. This way. That's gonna be an ad slot or a PD. Nice. Yeah, those guys drop ad slots like 1 in 100, or 1 in 16, I think, actually. Because 1 in 100 is the box rate. Boxes, no matter what zone you're in episode 1, boxes have a 1 in 100 chance to drop ad slots, which we talked about last time as well. I think this model will be really good for entry players too, who want to experience the game first time. Yeah, I think so too. I appreciate you saying that. I really did want to bridge that gap. I wanted people who enjoy the game but didn't have the time to play it to be able to actually find things. I wanted the extreme, you know, farmer to actually find something like 6 times, you know, because they are trying to get high hit, you know, or good percents out the gate. And then I wanted the new player, if there were any new players, to kind of have almost like what I call the PSU experience. You know, in Phantasy Star Universe, you know, you would have special attacks, and those special attacks, even if it was just a basic saber, would hit like 2 or 3 targets. You know, we don't have special attacks in this game, technically, that hit differently animation-wise. So I just needed to have them cleave full time. And I think if the weapon comes in contact, like visually with the enemy, that should hit it, you know, most of the time. Maybe not all the time, but like, I think it just makes more sense if it does, you know. And you can see I've been playing for 2 hours, and, you know, I just started this character, yeah, sure, but, you know, she's only level 18. You know, I didn't give you something that literally hits an entire room and steals like 4,000 EXP, or I didn't increase monster kill EXP. I'm just playing with the values that Sega gave us. You know, they said you can't get more than 20 EXP in normal mode. Okay, maybe I have a weapon that hits multiple times close range or something that will just steal enough to make up the difference of a 2x rate or a 4x rate. So that was kind of my thought process there. What is not spawning in this room? There we go. It's the Goronzes. Nope. That's pointed the wrong way. For those of you who don't know, if there's multiple Goronzes in a room, these big robots, or even if you just circle around one, you can walk their bombs into them and just have them kill themselves. It's kind of funny. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to move my camera around so he'll shoot himself. But his rockets are hitting himself. Yep, there he goes. Comedy. Alright. I would ideally like to hit 20 before stopping. We'll just see if I have a few more minutes. And I know to some people showcasing just like normal or very hard is kind of boring because they want to see like what does ultimate look like. You know, ultimate's the same thing. You know, it's just a little bit harder. So I'm not playing on like my other memory cards where I have higher level characters, because you'll get there when you get there, right? You know, that part of it is just play the game and see what drops and, you know, experience it firsthand. I just want to show you kind of mechanically what to work towards in the beginning, how to help yourself level, how to just make your life just a little bit easier as you get through the core content of the game. Ultimate is when the tutorial ends. Yep, that is absolutely true. Ultimate hurts, and it hurts a lot less now because there's a lot of really good stuff that drops leading up to Ultimate. Plus materials are easier too, right? That's a big thing. Like when I play in Athenia, I basically have to be able to afford enough power mats from the community that I can just get my full power mat lineup at the start of making a character. Like I'm not waiting for that that farm on my own. Oh, nice. I forgot those drop TP mats. Also, fun fact, Chaos Sorcerers with their little floaters, you can do EXP steal on those guys too. So you can get like 60 per Chaos Sorcerer. Nice, that stopped him. That's sweet. Long hallway. We almost done. Which means I have to stop before I talk to Tyrell. Oh boy. EXP still will work on these guys, and it will sometimes get them out of this little invulnerability stage sooner. Not always, though. Good thing I have magic. Too bad I can't hit anyone. Where'd they go? These guys are the worst. I hate death gunners. No, thank you. Nice. Be a PT, probably. Yeah, worst enemy. Yeah, they're awful. I will say that you can use Gush on them, and even though it looks like it's not doing damage, it is actually doing damage. So you can slowly whittle them away with Gush. Obviously elemental specials too, or magic attacks. But if you're playing a cast, you're going to have a harder time with them. Because you're, you know, in Ultimate specifically, you're not using... What aren't you using? Demons. You're not really using like demons or devil specials to whittle them down. Because of the debuff the cast get. Nice. Oh, I missed. I didn't mean to do rants, but that works. I should feed my mag. Poor thing's starving. More of them. Oh, that worked way better than I was expecting it to. Okay, I guess we're using Flight Fan on them, like we use on pretty much everything else. Ah, more? I usually stop after mines. I don't usually remember what the spawn groups are like in Ruins. Nice. Oh, I have a Seize Lock on. What am I doing? I forgot I could paralyze him. Big grouping. Oh, yeah, these guys. The claws. Yep. Yep. Just eat that. Nope. Nope. No thanks. Cast Sorcerer. Boo. Nice. Chaos Orcs have like a 1 in 2 chance for Mind Mats too. So this is also quite nice for me right now. Ah, boo. There we go. Nice. Nice. Oh, Belrose. Or, Bringers. So you basically have to just watch on your mini-map to make sure you don't get hit by it. Yeah. Yeah, I basically have to watch my mini-map so I don't get railed by them because, good lord, they come in fast. And on GameCube, it's not like on PC where you just start running right away. Like, your character starts off by walking. I'm like, girl, move. You need to move. Alright, we'll do another Falls run. Should be able to take him out before the timer ends. That's 6 minutes. I mean, I think I took him out in like 2 or 3 last time. If that. Can I hit multiple heads? I cannot. A little too far away. Before I modified it, I could target all 3 heads with Flight Fan. It was a little silly. It was a little broken. We changed that. We changed that to make that make more sense and be less broken. Nope. Yeah, it was fun to see. It was definitely fun to see, but it was absolutely broken. I'm telling you, I just didn't unequip it. I would just equip it the entire time and not use other weapons. And dead. There we go. I have actually had falls fall on top of me and kill me in that animation. Oh, I forgot this quest does this. There's no boxes at the end. It just slowly teleports you back. Well, that's my stream. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. I am going to be probably a little radio silent for the next couple weeks. Going to be pretty busy in real life. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you being here with me. I really, really do. I mean that. I'm probably going to be a little radio silent for a little bit because I don't want any of the PSO mods on Reddit to be upset with me for posting too frequently, and that's kind of my only platform other than this where hopefully people start to follow and pay attention. But I really want to be able to post about when it... Oh, shoot. Please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. It's going to freeze. It's going to freeze. There it goes. Well, that's my stream. Yep, I forgot it would port you straight back to Tyrell. Well, good to showcase at least and let people know like this will happen. So I'm still gonna include the quest, but like I'm gonna make a huge note in my thing that's like, hey, be mindful of that. That's gonna screw you up and you're gonna lose your level. The game doesn't save until you exit the game, unfortunately, so I just lost all 8 of those levels, but like that's okay. I'm not trying to actually beat the game. I just want to show you guys kind of what's what. Better for me to do it than for you guys to do it, for sure. But anyway, I'm going to be a little radio silent for a little bit. I have a few other things that I'm still trying to finish up and tweak, but the game is basically done where it's going to be for now. A few more patches I'm going to apply and make sure that the rest of the chart is in order for the Google Docs sheet for everyone. I have a couple more pages to add and clean up, but I will show you just real quick while I have you, and I do have to leave in just a minute here, but we'll look at my drop charts. We are going to go over to download and install. So you'll see here, this is how you're going to actually set up the game. So I will probably have Google Drive links or Mega Upload or Mediafire or whatever, something. I'll figure out which one I want for the ISO and for the actual manual install files. But this will be your main page where the links are available to download the game or to patch it yourself if you really want to. I've included what patches are going to come with it, so if you want to see the quality of life options that are available to you, I'm going to increase this just a little bit here so everyone can see it. It just gives you an idea of like what quality of life things exist prior to me having done any edits. This will walk you through how to actually install if you want to do the install yourself. It's pretty easy. I know it looks like a lot of steps, but literally some of them are just open this program, open this item, replace it with this other item I gave you in a folder. It's going to be pretty easy. It's going to be pretty straightforward. And then, you know, actually putting the quests into the memory card is a little bit more confusing. So specifically on Dolphin, I'm going to guide you through how to add items to the memory card. I might end up putting links in here if people want. It's not too bad to patch. It's pretty easy to patch. But I've already included all those patches, so this patch is even easier than adding those DOL file additions. I'm just gonna have a program that like is very easy to use, and you're just gonna replace 4 files, and that's it. Adding in the quest to the memory card is a little bit more involved, but again, it's just basically just dragging and dropping files, right? And then I let you know at the end here that you can't play the quests unless the action replay codes are turned on. The quests are encrypted, so you need the decryption cheats added. And I show you here exactly, you just drag and drop my game settings file into your game settings folder, and then it activates these codes. So we've got the decryption key saver, enabler, download quest, PRS compression. You don't need to know what they do, you just need to know that those are available to help actually run the quests. Dark Falls drops items, Olga Flow drops items, extended dressing room, so that way you can do your dressing room. Error codes should also work on the Wii with Nintendo. I've used it on a Wii U, and it was also Nintendo there, working through the Wii platform. So it should be basically the exact same. If not the AR codes, I don't think it needs like Gecko. I think I used the same set of AR codes when I played it on the Wii. I'll check that. If they don't work, I'll look into the Gecko codes and then put those in my file as well. But I know it's possible. I know it's possible to use the cheats on the Wii. At the end of the day, if for whatever reason cheats don't work, all you're missing out on is Olga Flow dropping items and being able to do the extra quest, which extra quest is a big one. But yeah, just don't play without the quest. Don't play without the cheats. Maybe one day we'll hard code it in where this stuff enables you to play the game without these cheats enabled. But as it stands today, that's the amount of time I have to be able to do this stuff. So maybe one day we'll do that in the future. And these are just optional steps here, but it's pretty straightforward. It walks you through step by step exactly how to install, how to set it all up, and then the program I use to actually get my game patched. So it's pretty easy. You don't have to be overly tech savvy. Just follow my step by step guide, and we'll go from there. But that's basically it. I really appreciate you guys being with me here today, and hopefully within the next couple weeks you guys will see a post on Reddit, and I'll have a full link and tutorial and everything ready for you. So cheers. Thanks everyone.